since I was a jit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out the back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Godden with Charles Davis, and before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams, and the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Houston, and quarterback Deshaun Watson, second straight year he's been a Pro Bowler. Strong numbers again, 26 passing touchdowns, 7 more on the ground. But most people still think he's behind Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes if you're ranking AFC quarterbacks, and don't forget about Brady. But what does he need to do to ascend to that top spot?
He's just got to get his team deeper into the playoffs. And they had a great opportunity this past season because, remember, they were up 24-0 in Kansas City. And that lead went away. But if that does happen, we'll talk about Deshaun Watson in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. He has everything you're looking for. The arm, the legs, the leadership, and the intangibles. His team believes in him and believes that if he has the ball late in the fourth quarter, they've got a chance to win.
It was neat in that Houston-Kansas City game. You know, a lot of times we try to pit two players against one another and talk about the future of a certain sport, but you could really see a battle developing there for a long time to come in the AFC.
And how much fun is that going to be for all of us who are fans in the NFL?
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Waiting on it will be Richie James. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Jimmy Garoppolo ready to lead the San Francisco 49ers. And in the Super Bowl, not his best performance. 219 yards, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. What was your assessment of Jimmy G, Charles?
I thought it was a little uneven. I thought there were stretches that were terrific after the first interception, which was horrific because he's getting hit in the pocket. I don't know where he's throwing it. If he thinks he's grounding it, you got to throw it into the 8th row. Make sure no one touches it. Bottom line, though, is he has an incredible ability to put bad plays behind him. And at one point, after the interception he threw, he was 12 of his next 13 throwing the football. And that's when he looked his best. But down the stretch, when the pressure was on, had to throw the football. His offensive line struggled a little bit, and he wasn't quite the same down the stretch. But I think he'll be back. I think he's got a chance to be an upper echelon, top-quality quarterback.
On second down, it's Coleman. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Bernard McKinney is one of the tallest inside linebackers that you'll see in the game, but he has the bulk to go along with it. And I do think that his height is actually an advantage for him. It used to be that you're worried about tall guys inside because they had to fight off low blocks. But I think his ability to see into the offensive backfield, see what's going on, and read it allows him to diagnose plays quicker and get there in a hurry.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Football going back to the Houston Texans. Got another AFC South title this year. Their 4th in 5 seasons. No early exit in the playoffs. They came back to beat Buffalo in OT in the wild card round. Then that stunning 24-0 lead against Kansas City in KC. And you have to imagine they're going to be seeing Patrick Mahomes in their dreams all offseason. Probably a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Kind of reminds you of a Metallica song, doesn't it? Right? I mean, with those kind of nightmares, you don't want to go to sleep. But I go back to something you mentioned earlier. Another AFC South title. They're 4th in 5. That's a lot of success that I don't think they get credit for because they haven't had that super deep run in the playoffs. They got to, what, the divisional round this year in Kansas City with a chance to go to the AFC title game with 24-0 lead. If that happens, I think we look back at this Houston franchise in a little bit different light instead of kind of short shrift. Hey, 4 titles in 5 years in the division, but what do they have to show for it? That's the tough part for Houston.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Watson now to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's caught. It's Coleman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. This is Coleman with the ground. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and
oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now it's Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. To throw is Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Angelo Blackson. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now out comes Houston. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
A first down carry now for Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The tackle by Eric Armstead. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Time to revisit what we thought of San Francisco in the Super Bowl here, Charles, as they come back out on offense. They were looking to draw even with the Steelers and the Pats with 6 Super Bowl titles, but that's going to have to wait at least another year. Now, are you still bullish on this team moving forward?
I absolutely am, and I know it goes against the grain a little bit because typically the team that loses the Super Bowl, it's not just the Super Bowl winner that has a hangover. Super Bowl loser has a struggle the next year as well. I think this team is built to come back and compete for another Super Bowl title. Offensive line, I really like it. They'll get Weston Richburg back at center. I think that the running game will continue to get better. Don't be surprised if they actually draft a runner to try and supplement things. They'll increase the receiving core. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo will continue to improve at quarterback. And on the defensive side, they feel like they have a lot to prove because of the way the game ended for them. They didn't shut them down. I think this is a team that would be on a mission in 2020.
And I'm not putting this all on Kyle Shanahan, but just for him, how crushing the loss he had as the OC with Atlanta, and now this lead that he loses as the head coach of San Francisco.
He'll be hearing from guys like you and me all year long about those 2 games now. Leads, not doing certain things that we expected him to do, i.e. running the football down the stretch. He'll have all offseason to digest that. But one thing about Kyle Shanahan, very confident in himself. I think he handles these things well, and he'll use it as fuel as well, too.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Miller. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Just like that. Just like that. 6-yard line.
From the 36, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Garoppolo Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. This one complete to Coleman. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game, and on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Completes it to Coleman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Garoppolo again. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. D Ford, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and abundant. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're going for it. It's Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Watson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Here's Watson, and they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout. With 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Watson. Open man, the tight end falls.
That's it, baby.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Coleman. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up fourth down. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Ready? 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. From the gun, here's Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. Watson with a give to Miller. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 38, Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but now it'll be third down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
I'm coming.
Now Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And down inside the 15 he goes. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Watson now to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 13 yards out. And the Texans have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
At the 33-yard line.
on second down. Hyde. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. All day, all day.
This is Miller. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. 7 yards there and a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On second down now, it's Coleman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And here comes the Texans now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game. And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth-quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's got Fuller. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down and goal. Watson. Flushed out. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Day. Able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
To throw is Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, your arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Open man is Samuel, complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Garoppolo to throw for it on fourth. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Here we go.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Garoppolo, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. To try again after the sack. Garoppolo. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Here's Watson, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Crunch time, defense.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.